Denver City Council is considering whether to renew a big contract with the Salvation Army to run the city's homeless shelters. It's a bad time for that nonprofit to be dealing with a string of negative headlines. A Salvation Army employee was charged with sexual assault at one of the shelters last month. And now advocates and families tell our Angeline McCall they have struggled to get the help that Salvation Army is being paid to provide.
It's a problem homeless advocates have been worried about for months.
I'm getting calls constantly from families living in their cars. They'd like a place off of the street.
Amy Beck came before council last year, then again last month.
Today, I have been calling the Connection Center all day long. It rolls straight to a recording.
She's talking about the Salvation Army's Connection Center, the place people call as a first step to receive resources.
It has become a significant problem. I mean, it is a crisis right now.
Families describe no answers and delays in getting back to them.
They get voicemail over and over for the entire day, then they're just out of luck for that day.
Nonprofit House Keys Action Network Denver shared photos from call logs from people trying to get through. One family calling over 400 times.
So families are in crisis. They really need some help, and they need to get inside with their children. So they do call over and over repeatedly.
The Salvation Army called this a resources issue, with 6 staffers on hand to answer calls during high call volumes.
And so if it's a very cold night, they'll be sleeping on the streets again. Whether that's in a tent or a car, they have been left out in freezing conditions because no one is answering the phone.
The Salvation Army says each call can take up to an hour, hence the challenge. But advocates say that comes at the expense of families who are directed to call them as a first step to ask for help.
In a statement, the Salvation Army said in part, quote, "The support and resources that the Salvation Army has to address these growing and alarming challenges is finite. We are dealing with finite resources to address an infinite challenge in our community," adding they shelter 1,800 people every day and stand behind their work.
So as questions are raised, this big contract, do we know when there's going to be an up or down vote on that, or whether it's actually going to happen like that?
I actually just checked the agenda minutes, wanted to see if Denver City Council has a date yet. Couldn't find one as of right now. But what's interesting is that this has taken up a lot of dialogue on City Council. We know that Councilwoman Chantel Lewis, where many of these shelters are located, has been very vocal about this. She has proposed something, the possibility of rather than giving one big contract to an organization like the Salvation Army, potentially, sort of chopping up the contract, giving smaller portions, specific tasks to smaller organizations.
It feels like one of those things where it's like the bigger the contract is, the harder it is for the city to take it away because they become so interlinked to one another, right?
Yeah, and what's hard too is when, you have All in Mile High, for instance, we talk about Denver shelters and some of Mayor Johnson's initiatives. These are really big programs. And so the Salvation Army, right, is one of the larger providers. And so, of course, it makes sense to use an organization the size of the Salvation Army, but some people are saying it's just simply not working.
Not working. All right, Angeline McCall, thank you very much.